Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. How's everybody doing today and stuff? Well, tonight really. I just want to go ahead and give a quick rundown to about us rivet counters, and that pertains to what you see before you. Okay. One of the things. These are just a few of my models. I got over 40 of them and stuff. I'm not going to put everything on there, but I just want to make a poignant issue about sanding lines. Sanding lines is something very important and stuff. It's something that most model manufacturers, not all, but some out there really don't, target is that of the sander brackets. Okay, well, sanding lines, period. Okay, and how it's formulated. Like if you see on one of my model SD60Ms, 9258, and just a little further, the number from what I understand is not, from what I overstand, it's not 9258 no more. It's another roster number because, BNSF has been updating a lot of its engines and changing up the roster number to each engine. This is a proto-line engine, two windshield, sort of SD60M. I changed the cab interior as well as, added the different crew figures than those two stalwart, molded individuals, the conductor and engineer. You want to give these engines some kind of character, and some people take the figurines out, because as a friend of mine said, BNSF one OT Howard, okay, once said, you don't want to have crews, 4 or 5 crews operating when you're doing a multiple unit consist. So most people will tint the windows, such as what BNSF does. So, I do model, high end dollar model engines and stuff. I'm going to be working more with this SD60M and stuff by adding LED lights for the ditch lights as well as the headlights, and so changing the DCC mode and stuff, man, so that way the engine can, it can animate the engine a little more. But this is most definitely important, for sanding lines to be added to the engine, such as this Rapido F40PH. I did a story on some time ago, review some time ago. Okay, 21 pin decoder, and sort of new one is going to be coming in and stuff, where I'll uprate this engine. And Rapido really pretty much stepped up, with their they stepped up with their models, with their engines, and they're pretty much taking the lead, with details and everything. And with their 21 pin lock sound decoder and stuff, for sound as well as the light functions and everything. It's a top-notch model, and this F40PH is no exception to the rule. Okay, but as you can see, I went on ahead and added sanding brackets and sander lines also to the engine to bring it out a little more. Did a little weathering as well for when engine 210 was in service. Also, I went a little extra and added scale chains also to the back. Let's get some focus on here, because I'm using my phone. Don't judge me, but I went on ahead and I added scale chains, pretty much to a lot of my engines. If you also look, there's a cab interior. There's, the cab interior I enhanced a little more. And that's the thing about a lot of my engines I'm going to be using. It's going to be a conversation starter. So I added figurines and stuff to be within the locomotive, 210. Um, a conductor as well as an engineer. And I hate when this phone has to, when it does this focus thing. Y'all know about, between iPhones and Androids when they do that thing to try to focus. But if you look a little closer, man, it does have, you can see, I added the interior, enhanced it a bit and stuff. I enhanced the interior a bit. So you look real good. You can see the conductor on that side and stuff, and as well as the engineer. You know, Again, they're good when you want to operate, one engine in front of a train, such as 210, even though it's not in service anymore. But on my roads and so on, they're still in service for the Empire service. And so it'll be a single engine pulling between 3 to 5 cars from Albany to, Dunkirk or Niagara Falls, whichever time slot it goes in and stuff. Of course, notice I didn't say anywhere south between Rensselaer Station to Penn Station. You got to have an electric engine to go down there. If anybody living in New York City and New York period, in that area, heading from Rensselaer on down, they'll switch to what's called a P32. A P32 class model that'll take the train a little further down. In lieu to that, which leads me to, again, as far as sanding lines and other details and stuff, I went on ahead and I added an interior for, my P42s and stuff. Soon I plan to build a P32. So much so I find the parts for the undercarriage, because it's a different type of design. And you're talking about a P32, as well as the third rail shoe apparatus. We all know we see 156 and stuff in several different applications to various trains and various routes that this engine has traveled on. And it's traveled many, and Cato has done a fine and fantastic job, if not raised the whole bar on cordless motors on American locomotives. I think they did a mighty fine job. And whoever's doing digital command control, get this engine in digital command controls. And I'm hearing a lot of people that have DC versions hard to convert a cordless motor to digital command control. If you differ from what I say, please comment and stuff. I'm up for suggestions and stuff based on that. All right. So yes, it's already set up for PTC. The PTC castings on the top. Of course, I did the interior of the cab as well. As well as some other details and stuff with this locomotive. Okay. So there's a whole lot of, Cato, they delivered and stuff, but you'd have to add your own little enhancements, to bring it out, to bring the engine out. Same thing with Rapido again. The F59, I'm keep daggone saying F59, the FL9. Again, those who live, along the Metro North, you remember the FL9 and stuff. And, of course, I did some weathering, to when the engine number 2021 last serviced, even though it was set up in a different configuration, more updated. When Crankshaft Industries went on and, redid the model, again, Rapido, they've taken this thing with detail to new heights. It's taken this thing to a lot of new heights with detail, and, they listen to a lot of us captive region modelers. And the FL9, again, is no exception, and, I'm forever pleased with this model. I've even went on ahead, uh, took that Hancock horn off and added a 5 chime horn. It's it's a match made in heaven when it comes to that. Even Athearn, Athearn has always been top notch to me, and they're stepping up with a lot of their models. With NWSL is also, with their detail kits for the undercarriage, for those who is a fan of the AMD 103s or the P42s and stuff, as many would call it. This is the one before the nose was changed. The nose was changed for the bolts. This is the pre-version and stuff, but I'm doing the post version soon. Well, actually, I'm doing them now. But exterior, the model, it's exceptional with detail. Could be a little better with weight, though. They could step it up with weight. And, also, I do my own roads. And so LTA PC, with their version of the ALP 45 and DP, as well as CDTA, and so their ALP 45 DP. CDTA is an actual agency in Albany, New York, capital of New York. They don't have a commuter train, but if they did, I would envision them to have this type of sheen, and so it skews the focus of the camera. But again, my main thing about this video is, just little intricate little details, such as the sander brackets. The sander brackets, it will definitely bring out a lot of the models. As you see here, the sander brackets can flex along with the engine. So it could flex along with the engine without it having to scrape or nothing. It doesn't have to, part away from the truck, and so it, man, and, it really brings it out. It brings the engine out. It says a lot about the detail, of the model. And so I'm going to cut this video short, but, again, just to put it short, it's just those little things and sort that some rivet counters, and, a lot of them answered the call. A lot of them answered the call. A lot of companies, mainly scaletrains.com has answered that call, with the sanding lines. To us rivet counters, some people out there that, they nitpick and look at, various little details here. There's supposed to be a light there, and, the bell has to be set this way and that way. Some people really taking, this thing, and how come the glue is this thick here? And basically, we pay a lot of money for these model trains, and we pay a great deal of money for these model trains. And so, when we pay for them, and they cost a lot. Like my next review will be on the Rapido's mid-train dome car, which I've heard they did a stellar job. Everything, even the undercarriage is monstrous. Now I've got Rapido coaches as well as Waters Protoline coaches, the new Amfleet coaches. I mean, I've had them for some time, but they're stepping up and they're raising the bar. And my thing is, who's going to do the Horizon and the Common Fleet coaches? For the commuter service as well as regional services. Those things out there it would take model railroading over the edge. It would take them to new heights. Whoever does it. So hopefully we'll see that in the future. I'm cutting this video short. If you like, subscribe, You know, if you like, go ahead, press that button. You already know what it is. Okay, this is Abdul Kabir, aka Daniel Lucas. And stay tuned.